to name.
Okay.
Because I work in clothes, and to me,
we already know
it
that
changes
makes the person.
It
really
makes
does.
the person. It changes how people perceive you and everything. So in kind, does what someone call you change the way they perceive you? So now the reason I said that is because, and where I was trying to go with this is because we call each other the N word all the time.
You talking about nigga?
Thank you. But
You talking about the word nigga? You talking about the word nigga? Nigga, what little nigga?
I just make sure we specify. We good.
Anyway, we say that. And we say that we've reclaimed the word, and we're saying it affectionately, and he's this and he's that.
No, it's not affectionate when we say it. We mean that's what you is.
No, because somebody like that's my boo. You should say that's my,
some people use it as a term of
some
endearment.
people,
Okay, you're right.
Like that's my N word.
Wait.
This
This is for the fellas because, and the reason I say that is because
American
because when this is the way I look at it, and I'm gonna break it down, and then I'm gonna let you answer. Because when you with your friends, and your friends call you Dap. Dap is a totally different person than DeJuan Paxton. Okay, and whatever your wife calls you is a totally different person than either Dap or that person. You know, so and this is what resonates. When I was a child in the street doing something wrong, and my mother came to the door and called me by my government. That was because she was calling forward that person that she named, that she took her time to name, that she finessed this name for 9 months, and she knew what it meant to her and what she wanted that person to be. And so I don't care who you are in the street, when she comes to that door and calls you by your name, you rise to that standard.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And that's just my opinion. But the ladies did not agree with me. I just need some help or some input so that I can see
we did agree with you because she did say we need.
I did.
Fellas.
Autumn.
This is
They
this
chewed
is
me
the
up.
fellas time.
We got it on tape.
Fellas time.
I'm eating the Snickers.
I'm gonna let. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and chime in. So I agree with you to a certain extent. You know, I don't really deal in the whole realm of other people's perceptions of me. So it's kind of hard for me. But I do think that in the whole situation with like Dap and DeJuan, that's because I'm a Gemini and it's just two of me anyway. It's multiple. You know, it's just. That just comes with the package.
Bipolar.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say bipolar, but very interesting. I would say very interesting. So there's Dap, there's DeJuan. It's very two distinct personalities. Then it's that nigga Dap. That's what my wife called me, that nigga Dap, especially when I'm putting it down. So, but that's another story.
Helpline, please.
That nigga Dap.
I'm trying to get these callers in. No. So yeah, no. Like names are very serious to me, and so this is something that I went through with my son when he was, coming into this world. I spent a lot of time trying to pick out a name for him, and so it was important to me how it sounded. It was important to me what it meant, and it was important to me how he responded to the name as well. So he came out. He didn't have a name for 7 days. He was Baby Paxton for 7 days because I was testing out these names on him to see what he responded to, and he responded to Khalil, and that was it. When he responded to Khalil, I knew that was who he is. That's what I'm gonna name him, and it has a meaning. Okay. It means good friend of God. So his full name, I won't put that out there, but we decided that was the best name for him. So now we're doing something similar now with names.
Oh, what you trying to tell us?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm just trying to tell you that names.
Misty, please. So we call it 678-688 IBNX.
So names are important. So we're going through the same thing because we talked about this. Words have a certain vibration. And
sounds like you're agreeing with me.
I am agreeing with you. I am agreeing with you. Yeah. It's the intention, it's the meaning, it's everything behind it, how it sounds, how it feels, all that stuff matters. So yeah, right. I think it is.
Yeah,
Bernard.
Now I kind of agree with him now, but he's doing a little deeper than I did when with names when it comes to children, you know, my kids. I gave all my sons, I have 3 sons, so I gave them names that wouldn't mark them. I didn't want them to be stereotyped.
Right.
So all the names I gave, but not only that, they all have names that mean something to me and to someone. All right. For my oldest son, his name is Raymond, and we gave him a name after one of my wife's cousins that she was real close to. My second son, he's named after me. All right, he's the second. And believe it or not, it's so funny though that he looks exactly like me. You know, my oldest looks like his mama, you know what I mean? And he looks exactly like me. And my youngest son, his name is Chris. Now he's named after my best friend and my brother.
Wow.
So he's Christopher Warren. So he has names as the best friend of my brother. So even with the grandchildren, they also have names that represent something. You know, with the 5 of my grandchildren, each name that they have represents them to someone in the family or someone that means something to someone else in the family.
You paying libations.
Yeah.
You're paying back respect.
Exactly.
Right.
And
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I hate to say it when
there
he
she
said
go.
It is not your turn yet.
it is when he said that
Let's
the
reclaim our
name
time. How we going to
makes
commercial?
the person. My name is Joy.
What's that mean?
My name makes me. So you,
You are
yes,
joyful and bubbly and
I'm
I don't get it.
Felicia. Bye.
I love joy.
I'm just saying,
how long
like-
I've been telling you my joy.
Yes. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, because if you gonna call me Pookie, I'm gonna be extra Pookie.
and if you gonna call me
Okay.
man,
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Superman.
That's what I'm saying because
Ray.
at least with me, I don't call any of my nephews, especially, by a nickname. I don't care what name they have in the street.
Me too.
I call them by their names, and the reason that I do that is because I want them to rise to that standard when they're around me. I want them not just around me, but to realize who they are. You know, I think it resonates. As I said, I was raised up and around my older aunts and uncles, and I looked at them a certain way. So when I look at my nephews, I want to reflect the same image that I got when I was younger. So I make sure that I don't call them by nicknames because I'm not trying to see them on that level, honestly. I mean, I know you have that life, but at the same time, this is the person that I want to bring to the table. I need to speak to that person, you know. When I'm speaking to you, I need to make sure I'm resonating with that entity, that part of your mind that wants to be fed and learned and nurtured. You know, man, he just want to hang in the street. You know, somebody else just want to, you know.
I got to give you the side eye, Sean.
I got a cousin.
That's why you be calling me by my nickname, dude.
What are you talking about?
Because
that's how you
Mimi
introduce
is
yourself.
affectionate.
No, you want to know what it is? That's
No,
probably
seriously.
the name that you first met her.
No,
as.
but seriously, but even Dr. Trotter over here
Okay,
is a
let
different
me ask the
person than
question.
Mimi.
Was that when y'all met each other? What name did you give him?
The first name she gave me was Mimi.
Okay, so
there it
listen,
is.
perfect
But
example.
but that's who I met.
Let me
It's-
tell you.
it's- so then it's
let me.
association.
It's
Right.
association as well because I know a friend. Not gonna tell their real name, but
Do I know?
no, it's a guy.
Ray.
His first name his first name was a government name. It was like Ronald.
Okay.
Okay, just say his name was Ronald.
I just-
So then he became famous or whatever, and he decided to tell me, call me MC Bubblicious
Like,
Fish Eyes.
No, Ronald.
Bubblicious.
Bubblicious.
I'm just, and I said, Ronald.
Ronald, be serious.
I know. Ronald used to take my paw card to the Clark cafeteria and eat lunch.
But even
Don't
still-
come to me talk about call me MC Bubblicious Fire Dog, but your name is
you
Ronald.
But you understood that Ronald was a different person.
No, I
than-
got where he was
Okay.
coming from.
But
They
then
can
it's a
call you
persona.
that.
It's a persona
It's a
that goes
persona
along
at that
with
point,
that.
but
Right.
and that's what he's saying with the man thing.
Yeah.
So I can understand where you come out there and it's like, oh no,
Well, see, here's the other thing about it too, right? Because it all goes back to association. Even with the names that you're given by your parents, that you know, like you were saying about, it's still association. Like you have a certain association with those names that you gave your sons,
Right.
And you pass that along to them. So now the only way that they know the importance of their name is because you told them
Right.
what that is, right? So when people get their nicknames, there's a story that comes along with how they got that nickname, and it's always this is how I was behaving when they started calling me this.
Right.
And so then you have to be that every time they call, because now it's an expectation.
That's the expectation.
However, here's the flip side to it, right? Everyone has the ability to push themselves beyond whatever their name is, even if you're named after the man who raped your mama.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying?
Christ.
And you got to carry that name.
You went kind of far.
I know. I was just trying to get some attention, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but even if whatever the situation is, you know what I'm saying? You're named after some stuff that you're not too proud of, and it's your actual name. You can rise above that. You know what I mean? Or I don't even want to say rise above. You can define yourself, and see, and that's the thing that I want people to really understand. Is that you are empowered to define who you're gonna be, what that name means to you, and how you're gonna use that name. So even though like that's my nickname. Everybody asked me, you asked me today how I got that nickname. Mm-hmm. I would never tell how I got that nickname. You know what I'm saying?
I asked your mama, she told me.
She don't know because she wasn't around. So,
Damn.
She don't even know. So hey ma. But and there's not, but I still have the power to define what that means to me,
right,
and how I go about presenting that individual or that persona or whatever it is,
facet of your character,
right? I mean, because some people have names, like you were saying, there's a stigma. Like my son's name is Khalil,
right?
It's Islamic. It's very, it's a Muslim name. We're not Muslim, but
right.
I like the name.
Yeah.
So when people see that name, even Dewan, people know I'm black when they see Dewan.
Dewan, right.
Either they think I'm black or they think I'm like Hispanic or something like that.
I think the Paxton thrown
I
off.
was about to say.
Yeah, because the Paxton is...
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Wait, look, just like my name is Joy, and I'm really bringing pain.
That's it. I'm done.
You do.
You know what, though? I'm gonna say this.
No.
Wait, no, let me say.
Go
I'm
on.
here.
Because you've been
I
quiet.
have been quiet. My
Yes,
nickname, for those who don't know it, don't call me by that name unless you ask me. It's Mimi. But I got the name because I was a very fat baby. I was very fat.
It was
very
two of
fat.
her. Me.
Yes, I was a very fat baby. And my dad used to call me Meat.
Oh,
They
my
used to call me
goodness.
Meat. 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 And they just dropped the at off. As I got older, they dropped the at off. But for those who don't know it, and don't call me by my government name either, my proper name is Demetrius. But most people cannot pronounce Demetrius.
Really?
So, yes. It's Demetrius.
What
It's
most
not
people-
Dimitri.
look,
It's not
what
Demetrius.
most
It's
people-
Demetrius. No, both. So, my thing is, right, so they have difficulty, but my friends have always called me Mimi.
Right.
But there is no negative stigma with that nickname. It's a name of endearment and an affection. That's why I'm very particular about people calling me by that name. It's reserved for people who are close to me that I went to school with. I went to the School of the Nerds, and we always say that. I went to IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth, Virginia. So even if your name was Man and you went to IC Norcom High School, you still had to be average, and you was either an athlete or a musician in the band, and you went somewhere because of the school. So, that name didn't have anything to do with anything. So unlike other people who may have gotten named some kind of crazy way, I didn't have that. So my nickname doesn't have a negative connotation with it. Nor does the name Otto Monroe, which is really dope when I looked it up. Otto and Monroe are really dope. Nor is Demetrius. So anyway, all right.
Now, with my kids, I gave all of my. Matter of fact, I give nicknames to just about everyone.
Okay.
All right, because it's just I like to address them in a common way. You know what I mean?
Familiar.
Right, exactly. So they can understand the difference.
But riddle me this: when they do something wrong,
they get that name.
They get that government.
I give all the whole name.
Keontae James Simpson.
right? Because at that point you are calling that person to the carpet.
Exactly.
And on that note, I want you all to remain conscious and think about what we just said. So does the name really change who you are and how you act? So think about that. just something I just wanted to drop in the bucket. And if you really wanted to say something on it, I still have a blog spot. So go to SeanCRobinson.blogspot. It's still up there. You can leave a comment up there as well. And until then, remember, you control the narrative. Just stay woke.
I've searched all over. I know there's not 'cause you know it's there. Just call my name. I'll be there till the end, till the end. If you ever need a friend.
Any Twix over there? Cause I just like Twix and like 2 or 3.
You gonna tell the whole world that you like Twix, huh?
I guess Joy just
like
wanted
2
to
or 3
bring us back.
Starburst.
Live and direct.
Okay, it's Happy Halloween, everybody. Joy is in here.
Nah,
Y'all started off talking about my Snickers, and Joy is face deep in the bucket over there. So I'm not worried. I got some Snickers for you. But before the break, we were talking about controlling the narrative and being more than your name, or making people respect the name that you have and what you're called. So regardless of what people call you, regardless of what people call you, the only name that matters is that which you resonate with. So with all of that being said, I just want to get into now our interview. All right, so we are joined tonight by Bernard McCoy, who is a cast member on the show, the Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. I don't know why I want to twist that show around. It is now available on Amazon Prime.
He the daddy.
He is the father.
I'm the pappy.
He's the pappy. But he is the porno watching pappy. Married to the evangelical wife. I don't understand the matching. But together they created Dexter Jackson, who is our own Dap Paxton. So I'm going to start off with Autumn, who is stuffing her face. This is Halloween, so y'all gonna hear us chewing. But anyway, I'm gonna start off with Autumn, and because she watched the show, she binge watched all 6 episodes, and I'm gonna allow you to start off this interview with your questions as to what's going on, how they get to this point, and we're interviewing one of our own, Dap Paxton and Bernard McCoy. So enlighten us.
How did you come up with the character for the daddy? Because he is hilarious.
I just played myself. No.
I'm calling your kids.
I wear them shorts every Saturday morning.
Right.
They were the worst.
Oh my God. But the father is so funny. He's just he's so funny.
You just got to keep it real. You know what I mean?
He funny.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
He was funny without trying to be funny.
Yes.
It's like every delivery was serious, but you knew it was a line in there. And I'm like, did he just... You're like, you gotta do that.
And that was the whole idea of the character. You didn't want to be fake with it. You know what I mean? You want somebody that you can actually relate to. Because everybody's got that drunk uncle or that pervert person. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has one in the family. You know what I mean? And they don't mean to be like that. It's just how they are. You know what I mean? Because I know I had an uncle like that. They would wear shorts with dress shoes no matter where he went. You know what I'm saying? So I took a part of that, along with a little bit of Meet the Browns and so forth, and just put it all together, and coordinate. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that it came right. Right? And what would better work, than like Fred and Lucy, you know what I mean? You got two opposites,
Right.
The religious wife and that is just like off the hook, you know what I'm saying?
I had to rewind and say, did they just say?
He respects his wife because she was like, I didn't think so. She said something and you didn't respond back. Yeah. And you knew not to say nothing back to her.
Because you know how you women are. You got that lip that cut you deep.
And he kept that screen turned only to him. Yes. I was waiting to see what he was watching. I could hear it. I was trying to see if it was somebody.
I don't think he was ready. I was sitting there and I saw it.
Wait a minute, that was real?
Lost my mind. I was like, wow, I don't think I've seen that position before.
Now, both of you, now, Bernard, how long have you been acting?
Actually, I started really back when I was in high school.
Okay.
Just small production, and then a few plays, church plays, in between then, but nothing too serious.
Okay.
Because I wanted to wait until after my kids were grown and so forth. So once, they are grown, and now I can do the things I want to do. So I got actually a friend of mine. I was just telling Dap about this story. A friend of mine's named Mark Greenwald, real good guy and whatnot. We met, and I was telling him I wanted to be into acting, and it's something I really wanted to do and so forth. So he was like, "Well, I'm not going to do it for you." That's his idea. He says, "Well, all you need is a headshot and resume. You get me that, and we go from there." And I didn't hear nothing else from him for about a month, and then I finally saw him, and I gave my information and so forth. And then he said, "Okay, cool." I showed him, that I was serious because he wasn't going to do
Right,
it for
right,
me.
right.
You know, if you do, he said, if you do this, and this, then I tell you what's next. You know what I mean? And I did just that, and then I got my first role on Meet the Browns.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was an extra role, but it was my first television show, and that was about 7 years ago.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was Meet the Browns, Meet the Patient, and that was a featured extra.
Okay. Big money.
Yeah, right.
And again, give us your social media.
That's Bernard McCoy on Facebook. Instagram is actor Bernard. Twitter is Bernard McCoy, MCKOY. And then you can go to bernardmccoy.com.
Okay. And did you and Dap know each other before?
No, this is our first time meeting.
but On set,
On
yeah.
set was our first time meeting.
I wouldn't have known that. I would have thought y'all were old friends.
See, that was the thing about the project, man. Like everybody clicked like right away. I think we had table read, but I was late and you had to leave, so we didn't meet at the table read.
Right.
I met everybody else at the table read, but everybody's just really connected. And if y'all just tuning in, we're talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is a new web series that just launched on Amazon.com, where you can go and watch it for free.
Hilarious.
All 6 episodes are on there, the entire season. So make sure you get your Dexter Jackson on. And we have Bernard McCoy in the house, who plays Dexter Jackson's father. And I'm actually playing Dexter Jackson, so you get to see me
in your true form.
in Dexter,
Showing off taco
in
meat.
Dexter's
Taco
true
meat.
form. I did show off taco meat, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so ladies, you can get your dose of taco meats on Amazon.com.
Touch him, Father. Now, my question for you is,
Yeah.
how did you get this role?
Yeah.
How long
man.
who did you pay?
Well,
And,
first of all, and I should have did this at first, but
thank you for
I'm remiss to do this. But shouts out to Bobby and Renee Peoples,
Absolutely.
TPN Productions, who actually created this. They wrote, produced, directed, shot.
they did it all.
Yeah, well, Andre McDowell, he was the DP. He's super dope.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, really dope. Good ideas, man. But everybody is really dope. The whole cast, and but Bobby and Renee Peoples, they were headed to a wedding. This is the story that they told me. And so driving to this wedding, they began writing this script, and they said this is what they told me. So not to toot my own horn, but this is what they said. That the entire time they had me in mind,
You in mind.
for
Okay.
the role.
It seems like it was written for you.
It was a good fit. I mean, I can relate to the character. I can relate to his situation. So it wasn't, it was, but this was my first time doing a comedy. And so when Bobby called me and asked, he was like, this is a comedy. Would you be interested in doing it? And I was like, yo, I mean, I'm funny in real life, but I don't know if I'm funny like on camera. I don't know if it's gonna be the same. Like my friends laugh at me, but I don't know if they laughing at me or with me. But whatever.
Stop it, Sean.
Hate. So yeah, I mean that's what they, that's how they created it. And they called me and asked me. I was a little hesitant because it was comedy.
Right.
But I was like, if you give me a chance, then I'll do it, and just be patient with me. And it happened to work out. So super fun.
How long did it take to record the entire six
Shows,
series?
yeah, 6 episodes.
6-part series. Okay.
Oh man, how long? When did we start? We started in September.
September, right?
We started in September when we finished. What, the top of this month?
Yeah.
October.
Wow. And it's already out there.
Yeah.
That is
They
awesome.
move quick.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I mean, the episode that we did, we filmed it in one day.
Yeah.
One day we did episode 4 and 6.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
wow.
did both of those.
Yeah, both of those in one day. We wasn't playing, I mean, you get out and get it done,
Yeah, it was smooth.
Now, Dap, we know you've done stage play after stage play after stage play. So you're right. This is quite a bit of a take away from the characters that you've played on stage. So I commend you, sir.
Thank you.
This shows that you are very well rounded, and this is something that is phenomenal to add to your resume because I'm still laughing.
I would disagree.
Oh.
You're the bomb. So I don't know why you would be hesitant. Yeah, because I can totally see you. Because I mean, it's kind of you.
Yeah,
And it's the you that I know.
Well, this is the interesting thing about how I don't talk about acting much when we on the air.
Right.
I've been acting for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm an actor. That's
Right.
who I am. But this character, all of my characters, I take through these stages, and it's always me. You know, like every character that I develop, it's always me. It's just different aspects of me. This was I wanted it to just feel natural. You know, like I didn't want it to feel forced. One, because it was comedy, you know, and I didn't want it to be contrived because people can see through that.
Right.
And so yeah, it just, I don't know. I just let whatever flow through. But I did develop the character.
Right.
So it's not like I cheated. It was like, I'm just going to be Dap and get on camera. You know, it's always work to prepare for a character.
Right.
And so, yeah, it took time and some effort, you know, to really develop Dexter. So I hope, you know, when I watched it, it wasn't like watching myself. You know, it was like watching a movie, watching a TV show, and it was funny. Like I'm looking at this cracking up like I had never seen it before. Like I didn't know who these people were that was on a thing on the screen, and it was just fun to watch, man. Wow. So yeah, it was good.
Well, for those of you who don't know, we were talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is now available on Amazon Prime. You can watch it for free. You can binge watch and watch all 6 episodes. We're sitting here with DeJuan Paxton, who plays who plays Dexter Jackson, and of course Bernard McCoy, who plays his father.
Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, right.
So true. Right. And we're talking about what it took to get this series that they shot in a month's time.
In a month, yeah.
Onto Amazon Prime. So again, we do control the narrative. You are able to go out there and do something with what you have and do it quickly if you know the right people. Acting since high school, and Dap won't tell us how long he's been acting, but dreams do come true. So we encourage everybody that's out there to just push forward what you have envisioned yourself doing, and trust me, the doorways will open, the steps will be taken to make your dreams a reality too. But you did hit upon the producers, and I really want to talk about what's going on with their entity of TPN. If you can enlighten us, either of you enlighten us on TPN, Renee and Bobby, and what they're doing, and just shine a little light on how we can get in contact or support them as well.
You know what? I am going to see if I can get them on the line.
Okay, wonderful.
And so maybe after the break,
can hear their voice.
Yeah, and because they can speak to that better than anybody else.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. That's true.
Because they do a lot of work, man.
Oh man,
they do a lot of work. The dope thing about them too, and I have to say this every single time. I'm gonna say this every single time. So if you're listening, Bobby, just know you're gonna hear this every time I'm on the radio. Bobby Peoples and Renee Peoples, they do so much for the independent film industry in Atlanta. Like they do so much. They've put so many people on. They've taught so many people a new trade, like a new skill, a new trade, just by learning the behind the scenes of making a film. So there are people who, are DPs now who learned from them. There are people who are grips and sound guys and whatever, because they put them on. I mean, not to mention the people in front of the camera too. So big ups to everything that they're doing. Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you.
And that is what is so important, to know every aspect of the media behind the camera as well as in front of it. Because again, we cannot control the narrative if we're not writing the parts, if we're not the key grips, if we're not the directors and producers. Because as an actor, we are no better than someone who has graduated with a college degree and is still looking for a job instead of creating their own. So if you can go out there and you can direct as well, if you can produce as well, if you can screenwrite, if you can start casting people in the roles that you see yourself in or you would like to see yourself in. Look at people like Shonda Rhimes. Look at people like I ain't gonna look at that. But
No, but let me say this about Bobby and Renee. They are awesome. They're awesome. They will definitely give. They are willing to give anybody an opportunity. They really are. You just have to open your mouth and ask. But if they give you the opportunity, don't blow it.
No.
But they will give you a chance.
Oh yeah.
And if you're an actor and you trying to do something, they will definitely, work with you. They're one of the first people when I started acting that I met. They're absolutely wonderful, and they do teach you, you know, in front of the camera, behind the camera, whatever they have to do. They're all about getting it done and making sure that they help people within our community.
You know, one thing I can say about Bobby Renee also, you know, with their work ethics, they are kind of a no-nonsense, but with a flair.
Right.
And what I mean by that, though, they want people that are like family, that you can work with and have fun with and so forth. But they want people that's serious about their work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby mentioning one time that if I send you your sides for an audition, you want to audition for one of my shows or whatever, then I send you the sides a month later, all right, earlier. And then you come up a month later for your audition and you got your paper in your hand. You don't need you.
Right.
Because you're not serious. You haven't done your work. You haven't done your due diligence.
You're not as
That's up to you.
committed to the project.
Exactly. And I can understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you had a whole month to learn one page or maybe 2 lines, and you got to come to an audition holding the paper. You're not serious about what you're
Yeah,
doing.
due diligence, period, was not
Well,
accurate.
that would be that. But a point of clarity, that would be for them. If you go in for an audition with other people, take your paper. Because they see that as an insult. If you don't have the, whether you, even though you're off the paper, you want to have the paper in your hand when you go to the other people, because
But what if
they
you
want to
got
make
it in
sure.
your heart?
It doesn't matter. They still want you to have the paper in your hand.
Well,
Have
in
the
most-
rules, but I'm saying when
most-
you're actually doing
but
an
not
audition.
read, but not don't be reading off no paper. You
That's
ain't
what I'm
had it for
talking
a
about,
month.
yeah.
Right.
That's
Well,
what I
you
mean.
gotta
Not-
understand too.
yeah.
There's a difference. You know, what we were saying. You know, usually with Bobby, they'll send those sides out well in advance.
Right.
Whereas when you're auditioning for some of these TV shows and
Right.
things
It's
like that,
impromptu.
yeah, you get those sides 2 days before you gotta do a self tape.
still should be
Your
off.
self tape is due. Yeah, you should be off. But if you have to go in, you know, it is acceptable to have your script in your hand. So I mean, just.
Well, I'm saying it's acceptable,
know
but I'm just saying you
yourself.
should know it.
Yeah, you should know it. You should
You're
definitely-
going with it,
you
but
should
you're going to
definitely know it.
audition and read off the paper.
Y'all
These
that's
let you know
terrible.
you're not serious.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
Right.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean
Sound
by
like
that.
Charles Barkley.
terrible.
It's terrible.
I get sides sometimes like an hour in advance. You or
Right.
like I
Exactly.
have gone in and done the wrong sides
SAG
before,
award.
and the casting director has given me the correct sides, and within like
You still gotta be
10 minutes or whatever, give me 10 minutes, I'll be off the paper.
Right.
But you know, DeJuan can attest. We sometimes have to like notice stuff like this. You don't have time to be having like days and this, that, and the other. You need
Right.
to be able to do what you got to do to get it done.
Exactly.
You know, so there's no excuse to have a month.
Yeah.
A month.
Today, that's awesome. 9.7 hours, sir, to get these lines down.
Another thing that they do, though, bringing it back to TPN, is they have a film festival where they feature, you know, first-time filmmakers.
Okay.
So if you have a film that you know, this is your first film, you have a place that you can show it and get critiqued and maybe even win an award and win some money. They actually get money. So
Right.
they actually get
They're
money.
the only ones that do that.
Yeah, they're
now.
the only ones
that pay the filmmakers.
So they, you know, they split the door. You know what I mean? So it's really a labor of love for them. They're
for that,
a
they'll go
phenomenal
far.
couple. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Urban Media Makers Film Festival because they get money too.
Oh,
And
okay.
she's the oldest black film festival in Georgia.
Well, I stand corrected.
Well, I'm just
That's the homie.
all the love, all the love.
right. And I'm proud to have met and just bumped into them at your gathering. So hopefully we can get them on the air one day too and find out more about TPN and what's going on. But in the meantime, do they have a social media? We do want to follow them as well. We want to support them. We want to let them know that we appreciate what they're doing by pushing more actors of color into the mainstream, by putting more people of color behind the scenes,
Right.
so that one day, again, as I said, we can control the narrative. We can be every aspect of the media, because we can't demand roles in front of the camera if we're not behind the camera creating them. So again, we applaud TPN, we applaud Bobby and Renee Peoples. I know Renee is on Twitter as Renee Renaissance.
Renee Renaissance. I think on Instagram. Bobby M Peoples on Facebook, but you guys can get all that information if you go to Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating on Facebook. There's a page dedicated to that, so you can keep up with what's going on with the series. Which I don't think we talked about what the series is about.
That would help. A guide to dating.
I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, it's about the Dexter Jackson is a recently divorced brother who is back in the dating scene in Atlanta, and so this is about his adventures dating in Atlanta. And what's unique about this particular story is it comes from a black man's perspective, which in Atlanta. So, like, when do you get a black man's perspective on anything in TV and film? Let alone dating and relationships.
Right.
So
that should be funny.
So, ladies,
no, for real.
ladies, go ahead and tune in because you will see exactly what it's like for a brother to be dating in Atlanta.
You got any transsexuals in there?
You gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it. This is Atlanta.
Okay. Well, they just like the TV show with I want to say Childish Gambino, but just like his show Atlanta is out. Then you also have Insecure. And they're each perspectives of basically the same situations that are going on. This is a comedic look at the same, comedic look, and
from a man's perspective,
it throws a lot of punches, but at the same time, it hits hard. And
what's so crazy about Atlanta? What y'all got? 17-1.
I don't know. I don't keep up no more. I don't have to think about that anymore.
Thank God for you, but me being out here, I got like 16 other hoes. Lucky me. Fight with to get one man.
So that's the problem, right there. You gotta fight.
You gotta fight. We just talking about that, right?
I don't have to fight. I just was trying to make the other women in the world feel
I'm sure, Joy.
You know what I'm saying? But God got me.
And because God got her, I'm gonna let him get a little shine on this right now. So again, I'm gonna just ask y'all to stay woke, and thanks for joining us tonight with Uncle Sean and the Conscious Party.
Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. Wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, you're all that I have. So just in case, think of how we made love almost anywhere. Haven't I taken you almost everywhere? Think of all the things that we shared, and imagine me not there. Canvas in the rain, got you, everything I got, you can have it, baby. I'll do magic, I'll do all I can to keep you satisfied. So just in case I don't make it home tonight, baby. Just in case I don't make it home tonight, let me make love to you for the last time, baby. Make sweet love tonight, like the last, 'cause baby, so just in case, I don't make it home tonight. Just in case, for the last time, baby. Just in case, each moment like the last, 'cause baby, all that I have. So just in case, haven't I made you feel so special? As your man, I've held your hand, never letting go. Let you hold the keys to the Lexus. We drive, gave you all you need and want as long as I'm alive. Even from the heavens up above, I'll shine on. Too much is never enough. Oh, you're all I want. Even when I'm gone, the love will carry on. Just that strong, so just in case, I make it home tonight. I make it home, baby, for the last time. Oh, wanna cherish each moment like the last, 'cause baby, Just in case. Last time. Wanna cherish each moment like the last time. Last time. The last time. Oh. Baby, you know I love you more than anything in this whole world. You're my anything, my everything, my wife, my queen. So if something happens to me, there's something you need to know. I love you. Wanna cherish each moment like the last. 'Cause baby, all that I have. So just in case I don't make it home, I want you to know. Just in case. Just in case. Let me make love to you for the last time. Baby. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, you make me whole. 'Cause baby, all that I have. So just in case. Just in case. Just in case, baby. I want. Just in case. I make it tonight. Let me make love to you for the last time. All night.
You just entered the atmosphere of Dap's world. Welcome. Buckle your seatbelts and enjoy the ride. Yo, what's up, beautiful people? Hey, I know we've been having a lot of fun in the studio today, talking about Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, which is a great show. However, I have something that I wanted to talk about today that's pretty serious, and then we can go back to all the festivities. So, you know, you guys, when I'm talking to you on the radio and I'm telling you, like, when I do my segments, like, this is all stuff that I go through, right? When I'm telling you about, like, frequencies, vibrations, and, you know, everything that we talk about, these are things that I actually go through. And sometimes it's hard for me to talk about things that I go through, but I feel like I owe it to. This is what I just realized, okay? It's not about me, all right? So I wanted to share with you guys something that I recently went through this past week. And, you know, just take it for what it is, and we'll chime in, you know, let me know, you know, your thoughts around it. So this past week was a rough week for me. I was actually pretty down for the majority of the week. And I could not figure out for the life of me, like, what it was. I had just started this meditation class, transcendental meditation class. And so it had finished it up at the top of the week. And the thing about this meditation is what it does is it allows you to go down into your subconscious mind and clear a path to your subconscious mind, so you can kind of see the true you, and it really helps you to release things that you've grown attached to. So it's really a practice of relinquishing your attachment to things and to emotions and to maybe events in your life. And I went through depression. And I'm just gonna say that word one time, and I'm not gonna say it again. So this week I experienced depression. It's not my first time going through it, but I actually did experience it this week. And it was rough, man. It was rough, like, on my family. It was rough on me. And but there's some things some jewels that I got from and I gained from this time period. One thing is, as black men, and this whole thing is really geared to black men, but everyone could benefit. So when I say that, ladies, don't turn your head to anything, but just keep tuning in. Stick with me. Roll with me. I know this is long, but roll with me. It's kind of hard for me to talk about. But brothers, depression is real in our community. It's real amongst each other. There are outlets. There are people that we can talk to. There are things that we can do to deal with depression. It's not to be taken lightly. And I know it's like sometimes, you know, we don't feel like we can talk to our women about it because it makes us look weak or whatever it is, whatever stigmas are attached to it. But I do want you to know that you're not weak if you're going through something like this. As a matter of fact, it became clear to me what this actually is and how to deal with it. What this is, this time period where you're down, it's an indication of something. It's an indicator that you're not satisfied with the things that are around you. So for me, there were some things that triggered this that I wasn't satisfied with. And then it just seemed like nothing was satisfying. So I realized, okay, this is just a sign. This is something, these are my emotions telling me to open your eyes and see these things that are around you, and then realize what is it in me that's creating this stuff around me that I'm not satisfied with. And it's hard to look at yourself and say you're not satisfied with yourself, right? But that's something that we have to do. Look in the mirror and take a look at that. Now, this is the purpose of depression. This is what I found in my research, that the most successful people that we look up to, the people who are the best at what they do, go through depression. This is not just something for people who are broke or people who have relationship problems or people who don't like themselves or people who've been abused. The people go through this who have succeeded and have accomplished everything that they ever imagined themselves to accomplish, and they still go through it. And we see these people and we revere these people, and then when they do something like commit suicide, we are extremely disappointed in them. Because we were like, you had the world in your hands, and you did this. So you are not alone, number one, and it happens to the best of us. And we are the best of us. All right? Now, it's important to know what it is. It is an indicator that you are not satisfied with something that is around you, which is emanating from you. Now, when you realize that it is coming from you, that's the hardest shit to deal with. Is the realization that you are creating this environment that you are not satisfied with. And sometimes it's just like a transition period. You know, it's just time for something else. It's time for growth. It's time to shed the things that are not serving you anymore so that you can grab onto things that will take you to the next level in your life. And it's hard to shed those things sometimes because we become attached. We think that these things are important to our identity, and those things are not. Whether it's a bad habit or whether it's a relationship or no matter what it is, some things are meant to be let go of so that we can rise. And so you have to deal with that. This is the empowerment behind this feeling, this emotion, right? Some people call it, it's a diagnosis. It's I don't want to call it a sickness because I don't believe that that's what it is. I really firmly believe it's an indicator that you have to transition, that it's time to change who you are and become the person that you always knew you could be. Become that person that you know you are on the inside. You are not as far away from that person as you think you are. You are so close. And depression usually hits when you're the closest, because you can now feel the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. Do not be discouraged. Use that power to elevate and catapult yourself to that person that you know you were made to be. And know that you have the power to do that. That's all it is. It's an indicator to show you are not satisfied and to give you the tools and the clarity that you need in order to move yourself to the next level, because nobody else can do it for you. It is up to you. And when you open yourself up to that, that's when the magic happens. And magic is real. It is real as fuck. I just wanted to give you all that, man. That's something that I dealt with this week. I had to get through it. My wife, she is my rock. There's nobody else that I could talk to. I didn't understand it, so I couldn't even articulate it to her. She couldn't understand it, but she still stood with me through it. And so I just want to thank her. And then Dexter Jackson hit Friday. And then all these people, these beautiful people, came and blessed my house on Saturday. And then Sunday, I just rested the whole day and didn't do shit. and Monday here I am doing some more stuff that I enjoy and I love, and it's elevating me. And it's not gonna always be like that, folks. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes longer, but it will be like that. Don't give up. Be empowered. Know that it is you and you alone that can change your circumstances, because it comes from you. You have to be what it is that you know you were always meant to be. All right, I've talked to y'all long enough. I'm done. I love y'all. You can follow me on Instagram at Dabs World or on Facebook at Dap Paxton. If you want to chime in on what I talked about, you know what I'm saying, send me a message, inbox me, whatever, or call in. The number here is 678-648 IBNX, 678-648-4269. It's 678-648. What am I looking at? The fax number? Oh, that's a listen line. My bad, y'all. 678-688 IBNX, 678-688-4269. And yeah, get at us. I love y'all. Dap out.
Hey, this your girl at Joy Leah. Are you ready to find out what's going on this week? Are you ready to find out who is on my list? On my list. Go hard. That's the song. All right. So, my list today, Lord, be with me. Trump, you on my list. They about to impeach your ass. They said it. I saw it. They firing folks. They is telling on you. Your best friends is coming out. What is going on with these people in this Russian thing? I mean, we all know the truth. That's the crazy thing. They just finding people out the blue. They like, oh yeah, your best friend said you was talking to the Putin, whatever his name is, on Tuesday. Gluten. Then they like, oh yeah, we saw your cousin over there talking to him too. Listen,
that is my joy.
When are y'all gonna impeach this man and just kick him out the White House? How many more people gonna have to tell on him? How many more people we gonna have to catch? How much more investigation we gonna have to pay on government money?
Right.
That is the question. I mean, people out here trying to get an FHA loan, and we is still trying to find out what's going on with Putin in Russia. So, since I like to, give the questions to y'all, since we got a guest here.
Right?
Gonna put you on the
bus.
How you feel about what's going on with Trump and them about to impeach him? You think it's gonna happen? What you think? Look, is it gonna happen today or tomorrow? What day you think it's gonna happen?
I think it is. I think it is gonna happen. But I've said ever since the election that Donald Trump is the poster boy for white privilege. I don't care what anybody say.
True.
Poster boy. Now, if you take, apples for apples, if Obama had the same resume as Trump, married 3 times, bankruptcy 3 times,
black,
has an immigrant wife.
Is he gonna be black though?
You don't have to,
right, an immigrant wife.
Immigrant wife, right? Which is right, exactly, porn star. Then has charges of sexual harassment. The way he talked about women, or got him recorded saying those type of things. You think he would even made it on the ticket, bruh, let alone going to the highest
nigga, please.
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in roast beef.
And don't forget, never held a political office whatsoever. Never. And you rise to the highest office in the United States.
No, not even rise. Rise, win, and killing the game. Like, no, not literally killing the game. Like, literally killing folks, killing politics, killing America. Everybody dying. I mean, it's going down in a bad way.
When they redo Webster's, they need to put white privilege and then meaning Donald Trump.
I know. Just put like, how do you want to be as a white person, and how can you be doing nothing as a white person? Trump. So as we can see, hopefully impeachment don't come quicker. So, next on my list, Love and Hip Hop. Carly B and Offset. They got engaged.
Who?
Right.
See, I hate y'all conscious people. Listen now. I need y'all to come back to react. Thank you. I'm gonna need you to come back to react. Carly B and Offset. These are the new love.
Offset
and
is?
Yeah, I don't know who
Offset is
Offset
from the group Migos.
Who?
Raindrops, drop top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cooking up,
yeah.
hot top.
I heard that song. I think.
You don't know the word.
We came from nothing to something to
Okay.
Oh.
bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie.
Okay, Offset is not Quavo or the other dude.
Yeah, we don't know none of them.
Thank you. So Offset got a
Spend this
woman.
much time.
Offset got a woman. Her name is Carly B.
Okay.
Carly B was on Love and Hip Hop.
We know Cardi
Bodak
I know
Yellow.
Cardi B,
Okay.
right, okay.
Cardi B. You know.
Yeah.
because her titties was popping out on Instagram. That's why I know
That's
who
why-
she is. That's the only reason why.
She got
That's why you
Jesus
dating on that
read
show.
about it.
No,
Because you
I'm
worried
just-
about Carly B.
I ain't worried about it. I just saw titties popping.
All I'm saying is Titty popping out and Offset are now engaged. They're the new Love and Hip Hop. They met each other like earlier this year, maybe like the end of last
So
year.
why are they on your list?
Right.
Because they just got engaged. He proposed to her on stage. It was like the most love and hip hop-ish moment of all life. Like if you are a gangster rapper and you're like a gangster rapper female, that's like the best proposal on stage in front of everybody.
All right, so who else is going to be on the knees next
Wait a
month?
minute though, Cardi is not a gangster rapper.
Carly B.
It ain't gonna be no NFL players we see.
You stupid.
But I just want to say, I mean, he asked. I just had to throw that in there. But Carly B and Offset, I just think it's beautiful that people are honoring marriage because marriage is a beautiful thing.
I'll give you
And the fact that they have looked beyond the fact of this whole whatever's
And they
going
found
on, and
each
I
other.
want to be with you, and I want to get married, and I want to tell the world and really
much
do
I
it.
loved you.
And you know, I mean, if it was me, I'd do it too. Like, y'all not excited?
Well, I'm
Yay.
excited. I'm excited because of what you just had, how you brought that together. So
Yeah.
Thank
that
you.
is-
I thought it was
Yeah.
because
cute.
it's the truth.
They're
People
young.
can find love regardless of what walk of life. you're taking.
Exactly.
I
Even
mean-
if they don't stay married for long.
Oh, no.
You know,
Don't say
I'm
that.
not
Don't
gonna
say
say
that. Add it to the
know,
universe.
right?
I'm gonna say they're gonna make it against the odds. So,
But I'm wondering if it's going to be like another Kim Kardashian that married that, what's that basketball player that wouldn't.
Yeah, I know he's over.
Yeah. What's his
and
name?
that was over in 72 hours.
Yeah, I think she wanted to get
72
married just
days.
for a wedding. She wanted a wedding. She didn't
Well,
want
No, but
she
this
just
was like
wanted
her
a wedding.
second wedding.
Right.
I don't think
really?
so. I don't think
Yes,
that's her.
that was
That's
her
not
second wedding.
personality.
Right. That's not her.
That ain't her personality.
We know. Who
Oh, I
she
know
is.
she was probably surprised when
know
he
her
got on his
personality.
knee like, oh, me?
I mean, she's so popular
You
because
want me?
she's likable.
Right.
She's like that cousin, that ghetto cousin that
Yes.
you have that you
That
really
keep
be
it
rooting
real.
for.
Yeah, to keep it real.
Yeah, that keep it
Keep it
100
too
with
real.
you. That one that you call when something popping off and then they took
'Cause
it
you
too
know she
far.
got your back
'Cause,
regardless.
yeah, you know she got your back regardless. That's that cousin.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But
She
she,
gonna
just
throw
keep
the
it
bottle.
100 and that's that person
Right.
that you
So
really
she's not gonna
root
get married for pretense.
I mean, I really like
If she
her.
like him,
You don't think so?
She's not the best
Nah.
lyricist in the world.
You don't think that she
She
was
has a great
married
hook.
for-
If she got
This
a
is
bomb
no
ghostwriter, she would be
Not
like,
think she
outta
really
here.
like this dude.
But I like her.
No,
I mean,
but-
because you know,
Marriage is
like
big.
the whole publicity thing behind. I mean,
I don't think
I don't
it's
know who
publicity.
she is. I've seen like I've seen her popularity rise
Right.
because of public acts,
Yeah.
and so I'm just kind of wondering.
I think they met and they really like each other. Only the reason why I think that's because when I watched her on Love and Hip Hop, her boyfriend at the time was in jail,
And she
she
was
was
faithful.
really faithful to him and promoting. And she had a picture of him, and he actually looked like Offset.
She won't know her.
So the fact that
so
she
he
found,
might be a jump off.
I know the fact that she found somebody that's not in jail with a job, paying taxes, and good credit. Good for her, in my opinion.
How you know all that about him? How you know
been-
he got
been
good credit?
researching Offset? What's his name?
right.
Did you run his credit? You work
It's
for
good.
Experian. Are you the one who hacked in?
Yep, I'm working for
Experian?
TransUnion, Experian, all
She
of
do
them.
a
Trust
lot.
me,
She gonna know some stuff.
And trust me, she got a good one. He got a good one,
That's cool.
and I just want to. I'm just excited for
Yeah.
their little Black love, because I'm excited for any type of black love. I'm rooting for everybody black. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it's
So,
I was gonna say, I might eat
like,
something.
let's
I want
go.
everybody black to win.
Of course
Everybody,
you do.
marriagely,
Yes.
financially,
Yes.
They make up a word every
lovely.
week.
Every week,
Exactly.
marriagely, right?
But that's what's up there.
You
Yeah.
know, so moving
can dig
on
that. I can
to
dig
the
that.
last thing on my list.
So black love.
Yes, black love. Congrats to all y'all folks.
Hand clap.
Hallelujah, black love.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Marriagely.
Right.
So
producer,
another thing I want to talk about on my list, and this is, shouts out to Halloween being tomorrow, and the Halloween costume contest that's coming up, and everybody. And I just want all the hoes out there dressing like hoes to stop acting like you doing something different.
Did she really just say that?
Put on some clothes for Halloween.
Why?
Shock us.
Shocker.
Shotguns. Oh, okay, I get it.
Shock us.
You
Put
came as
on.
a decent person.
Oh my God! Look at Jesus.
I would have never
Literally
thought
on the
that you were
cross.
decent.
I'll take a Jesus costume on the cross. Give us something on the cross.
Just walking down the street.
Give us something this
than
year.
hope.
A shocker. I don't want to see a cat. I don't want to see a mouse. I don't want to see a Playboy bunny. I don't want to see any
Nurse?
type of bunny.
A nurse.
I don't want to see a
Not
nurse.
the
French
sexy
maid.
nurse.
A
Not
Not
French
the
maid,
sexy nurse.
anybody in some go-go boots on a go-go pole, stripper, hipper, anything that coexists with anything with some ears
Or a
that's
tail.
sexy, or a tail that's sexy, or ass out, shorts, belly top, back out. I mean, no, listen. Just come out naked. Just put the paint on. Just put the paint on over the titties and ass.
That's
and
the
just keep it
Caribbean
like
festival.
that. But I'm just saying, no. Just give us what we want, and then give us the real costume. I want to see like some crazy stuff.
She want to
Let's
see
see
the
Bugs Bunny, the whole suit with the ears, like
The whole suit.
You know what I'm saying?
Had no ears.
No, the head. No, give me the head and the ear. That's not the ear.
I'm with you on that.
Give me the Michael Jackson when he went into that room and he came out with two fat niggas. Give me a costume. Oh my God, you were not playing. You went all out. Because you didn't go all out with the same bunnies you've been wearing for the past 5 years. Because I know chicks that do that. They got the same costume they done wore for about at least 11 years. And y'all want to be like, yeah, keep bringing it out. No, put it up. Stop buying it. Give me a nun suit, the fully real nun suit. Give me some costumes. Give us something to judge.
You said trick me.
Look, trick me. Let me be like, oh.
I ain't know that was you.
She performed on that costume. Thank you. Not no bull. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the Jaguar,
I'm done.
the Chia Pet, the Chia, all of them.
I ain't never seen no Chia Pet costume.
The Chia. I'm going to call it Chia Pet. But you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nothing bodysuitish. Don't put on the bodysuit and some ears and the tail talking about you got a costume. That's not a costume. You put that together.
They work
More
hard on their
creative.
body all year round. Just
More
for this day.
creativity. Come out with the Lil' Kim and the titty out.
Dude,
Show me something
I'm good with
that
that.
make me be like,
That's a whole costume.
that's a-
That is a whole
but
costume.
I
like, be a whole cake.
Be a real hoe. You gonna be a hoe now. You
You
know,
done gone full circle.
don't know
Be
ears.
anything.
Give me the costume that be like, okay.
You
she
just
pay-
saying don't
that
come-
hoe pay for that.
You
hoe.
just saying don't come out with a cheap costume.
No.
don't come out looking.
So
naked.
Joy, what you're saying is that I can't wear my bunny ears that I always wear. That's all I wear is the bunny ears.
No.
That's all.
No,
you
but
wear.
no, I
She
have a
said
look
that.
like
She
that.
clearly said no. She clearly said no.
if you
I just
clearly
had
are
ears.
fully dressed.
No, I ain't fully. No, I'm like this, but I just
and put the ears on.
Well,
Listen, you
that's
just
all I can
you're
do.
just
That's all I
being
can do.
festive.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Okay.
Festive is one thing.
No
So I can-
excuses.
I can
But
put
to
my
come
bunny
out there
ears
with a
on.
costume,
Ain't
like
valid.
legitly, like standing up on the stage, like I'm here for the costume party, and
And
you
you-
put something together with just like some black shorts, a black tank top, and some ears and a tail, and make your face up like, no, I'm really here, and some boots. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Get an emoji suit and just cover all that with the face. I'm just saying, let's be creative. Get you a box and be trap music, trap house. Like, show us some creative box. Get you a big box and be like, I'm an iPhone. You know, like, let's switch it up. Let's show us our creativity with black people. Be a pyramid.
Like,
you know, like.
A box.
Yes, you remember she came with a box of milk carton and she was the best.
She was the missing face.
That was tight.
She came with a box of milk and she was on the back.
She was in the back talking about missing. I said, if they decide not to pick you, I'm gonna give you $50 because you did that. And that's what I'm talking about.
That's originality, yeah.
Nah, somebody else had on the whole bacon costume, and I think they
somebody was a piece
look
of
like
bacon.
Somebody like people.
Whack.
No, but I'm just saying people come. I'm just saying be creative. And one of our
the most muscular guy.
He came in with a whole. He was Caitlyn Jenner before Caitlyn Jenner.
For episode 1.
Oh, he really came with the wigs all big and
looking
muscular,
like Bruce Jenner.
And it was like we gonna give you
just
the
surprised
money.
he came in.
But
this guy at our job.
A guy at our job. But I'm telling you, if you're gonna be creative, I want you to be that creative. Let people be like, you deserve
a break.
You are Halloween.
And
this other stuff is not Halloween. And on that note, we're gonna. That's all on my list. Let's just stay woke and stay prayed up.
For Halloween.
On Halloween, because the gooses and goblins is gonna be out tomorrow night. So
This is your girl, Autumn Monroe, and it's time for Autumn Leaves. Leaves of knowledge falling down on you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to get full. With that one. Lord Jesus have mercy. All right then. So today, I just want to talk to the other people who are making films, and I also want to talk to, I want to talk to the other people who are making black films, and I want to talk to the black people who are making black films. So whether you know it or not, when it comes to making films about iconic black people, the color of their skin matters. It matters. It's significant because you cannot have a brown-skinned short dude playing Thurgood Marshall. I love Chadwick. I love you. Boo, I love you. 42, you did that. You're a wonderful, amazing actor. However, no, baby, you won't Thurgood Marshall. I did not like the film, and I love film. I did not like it. It did not do him justice. Thurgood Marshall, you have to think about the time in which Thurgood Marshall was working and was doing his thing. A dark-skinned brother he might have gotten to the place that Thurgood Marshall got to, but I don't think so. Other people tend to think that the lighter-skinned black man and even the lighter-skinned black woman are a little less non-threatening. Even if their hair is out like this, a light-skinned sister with the wavy hair or the ringlets or the wavy hair or the straight hair is a little less non-threatening than someone like me, and I'm not as big of a threat as like maybe my sister who is darker skinned. And not only does what happened? Give me a second. So not only does the color of the skin matter, especially in a period piece, but hello, can y'all hear me out there? There are tons of actors of color, and we go from like really pink with blue eyes and blonde hair, yet we're black, to black as midnight and every shade in between. And there are some phenomenal actors in every shade of color. They could play those roles. You don't have to recycle us. We don't have to be
for the same old stuff,
right? But we don't have to be recycled. It's plenty of work. And there are plenty of us that can do these parts. But I'm gonna turn it over to Sean right quick. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, no, you said something that was very relevant, and the fact that the Academy will probably look at him and think he did a great job, and no, seriously, because again, we're looking at the fact that they wrote a story from their perspective, and their perspective completely negated the fact that there was white privilege at that time, that we had to choose Rosa Parks. She wasn't the first black person to sit down on the bus, but she was the first light-skinned, non-threatening, employed, no children. She was selected by the SCLC to go sit on that bus. So Thurgood Marshall, in kind, was selected, in so many words, by the white people at that time because he was less intimidating. His hair was not nappy. Was there other black
judges around that time?
No,
he wasn't a judge.
He was. I mean, he was of fair complexion, and so he was passing in society for a lot of. He was, as you said, less intimidating, right. And you're absolutely right. Someone as dark as he would not have been able to even cross half of those barriers. He would have been called out of his name, slandered, probably put in jail for saying as much as Thurgood Marshall got away with saying. Right. So you're absolutely right. But it will resonate differently with different crowds because, honestly speaking,
I get it.
Black people are going to get it from that angle.
No,
the people who are going to vote on the Academy Awards.
Stop it. Can I chime in?
Can I comment on that just for a second?
They may still give him the award because they don't know that perspective.
Okay. With that being said, what's your thoughts on the difficulties and so forth that Sidney Poitier had during those times?
Being the darkest nigga.
Being the darkest one. And he excelled so well within the industry.
He excelled because...
And Wesley Snipes.
But no.
Nah, that don't count.
I think Sidney excelled because he played the roles that they wanted him to. He was the strong, black, defiant man in everything that he played. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Lord,
Raisin in the
Sun. He kept that. He kept that one personification of that same character through each one of his roles. But he still wasn't belligerent. He still wasn't threatening. He still wasn't. He was just a strong but silent. He was articulate.
He was a civil rights activist. It was him, Harry Belafonte, and a whole bunch of them were doing a lot. But my point is that there are so many of us. We're a very diverse group of people. And Thurgood Marshall, black people did that film. And the Jewish white guy in the film, he stole the film. His storyline was amazing, and it kind of overshadowed Thurgood Marshall. And I don't understand why they took it from like this particular trial. And then my boy was in it from This Is Us. The black guy from This Is Us. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Yeah, the brother. He was in it. Did an amazing job, but the film just did not do justice. Like the way Ava DuVernay told the story about Selma and the perspective that she gave for Martin Luther King was wonderful because we had never seen him in that light before. I feel they should have gave her the script and let her rewrite it and put her zhuzh on there because it was just not a good film. It wasn't a good film. It wasn't a good story. I didn't like it. And I really hate the fact that they're always taking other people and having them to play these iconic characters. Like you cannot have a Zoe Saldana play Nina Simone. You cannot. Okay,
hold on. I gotta chime in. I have to chime in on this. Please let me chime in. The brother's name is Sterling Brown from This Is Us, who's a phenomenal actor. I think Chadwick did an excellent job as Thurgood Marshall, in my opinion. I went to go see it. My wife and I went to go see it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was very well done. I feel like, it was. I did wonder why they chose this particular trial as opposed to Brown versus the Board of Education, which was a more, well-known and relevant to what's going on today, more well-known trial.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting that they did take this, which is a lesser-known trial, and it shed some light on who Thurgood Marshall was. I think Chadwick did a good job. I think that is very narrow-minded for us to think that one shade of person, a person has to look close to another person in order for that role to be carried out or the story to be told. It's a story that needs to be told.
Yeah, the story's more believable though.
Well, I mean, we can talk about.
It's not about
I wasn't quite finished. I wasn't quite finished because y'all
let that finish.
Yeah, because y'all you said your piece. So I just I don't necessarily agree. Yes, I do agree that there are an abundance of actors, out there that could have told this story and played this role very well. They chose Chadwick. I also think his storyline, there were some things that I thought was a little shaky, like the scene with him and like Zora Neale Hurston, and that wasn't really. I think they just threw that in,
right? Wow.
So I could sense that. But everything else, man, like I felt like he was depicted as a very strong, strong-willed, very proud individual. You see, and that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I wish people would, would focus more on the strength of that man and that character and the story that was told, as opposed to his skin color and how he didn't look like Thurgood Marshall. Because what that showed was a black man who stood for something, who did not bow down to anyone for any reason. And I thought that was a powerful message that they put in that movie. That was very strong in that movie. That was a powerful message. And I feel like to focus on that, you just missed the whole point. Wait. Even with like I understood. I know Thurgood Marshall was light skinned. I've seen pictures of Thurgood Marshall. So what? Every black man had to overcome obstacles. Just because he was light skinned
don't mean
because Martin Luther King Jr. was not light skinned, and he still excelled during that time period. No, I'm saying
I'm talking about the period.
There were people who were of darker skin during that period who excelled and who made monumental changes during that period. We can't ignore that. And so the other thing, like Zoe Saldana, everybody made a big deal about her playing Nina Simone, and she did an excellent job playing Nina Simone. She played Avatar. She was the chicken Avatar.
Oh,
yeah. Painted a black in this movie.
And so, but she did an excellent job with, and I don't care what nobody else think. She did a great job depicting Nina Simone. Just because she's not dark skinned doesn't mean that she can't play that role. Now, if she can tell the story better than any other actress,
I don't think there's better actresses out there who could have told the story.
She can't. My thing is, I'm sorry, as a person of color, when you're depicting people, when you are depicting people of color, you need to stay true to that person. You need to stay true to that person. Nina Simone was rolling over in her grave because of the things that she stood for as a dark-skinned person.
Her story was
told.
There
are issues there. It matters. It matters.
And
it matters.
And it does matter. Let me ask you this. Jesus.
And Idris Elvis played Mandela, and when nobody complaining about that.
His dark-skinned self.
No, exactly.
The movie that Mel Gibson did about
Passion of Christ.
Passion of Christ, all right? You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
A lot of people have, all right?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
But the man that played Christ in that, do you believe that was actually Christ through the story you did? Does he look anything like Christ?
First of all, no one knows who Christ looked like, but we all know that he was black.
He was my Jesus.
Exactly.
Everybody knows he was black.
Right.
In Africa, there's no white folks out in Africa.
Right. But that's different.
I had an issue with
because
that
those are white people depicting black people. And see, but that's a psychological, that's a psychological.
But that's how I feel when they're making these films about us, that they want to use someone more non-threatening or have Harriet Tubman or Sojourner Truth be high yellow instead of the black and show somebody powerful and black and beautiful. In one of them Lincoln movies, Sojourner or Harriet Tubman was a light-skinned chick.
Me personally,
and I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. If you're gonna show somebody from my history, show it, make it true to the story. Make it true. Make it truthful. Be honest with it. But the other issue is that I have is there are too many of us. There are too many of us out here in all shades of brown to pink to dark skin that you don't have to recycle us. Please stop recycling us. And the other thing is there are a lot of talented people in different shades. I personally would have felt better if you would have depicted him true to who he was. If you would have depicted Nina Simone true to who she was. Yeah, it could have been a great story. She could have been a great. Zoe is a wonderful actress. But there are parts for you. And you can always get work because of how you look. Sorry to say it. You can always get work because she's an amazing actor and she's absolutely beautiful. Amazing actress. And she's beautiful.
She says she's not black.
But she black. She can get work. She can get work.
Ain't nobody was good in black.
My point is, I know, right? I'm just saying.
It's some black people
we
that
just
ain't
need
black.
to
they got Indian
allow. There's plenty of opportunities for all of us. Mm-hmm. When you're depicting my people, please be truthful in depicting my people, especially the darker skin of us. Please depict us correctly.
You keep saying that, but then historical.
But you got to look at
Chadwick was dark skin and Thurgood was light skin. But you
keep prime example of a great depiction of a person in the movie, in my opinion, is when Don Cheadle played Miles Davis.
Man.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
That was on point.
Exactly.
That was too good.
Exactly.
Don Cheadle's a great actor. That one has nothing to do with the other.
It does.
People are not great actors out there.
He's a brown.
He played that Hotel Rwanda like nobody else. Look, I'm just saying.
He's amazing.
Great actors. We're talking about great actors and skin color. It's not the same.
No,
it is the same.
It came together.
It came together perfectly.
A great actor,
exactly.
With the skin depicting the person.
Okay,
you're not probably gonna always find that. The light skinned brother probably read the lines better than the dark skinned brother.
Well, first of all, Don Cheadle produced the Miles Ahead. He produced that. He directed it and produced it.
Oh, so
that was his movie. Anyway, and he knew he was gonna play Miles Davis, and it was awesome. I mean, he does look a lot like
a beast anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But Chadwick Boseman is too. And so all I'm saying is this: we get caught up in aesthetics,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And we get so caught up in aesthetics. Like I understand getting caught up. I understand, wanting to have a visual and it has to be perfect like I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be like I like it. You know what I mean? But however, you know what I'm saying? Like we focus so much on that bullshit, man. And I'm just saying aesthetics is okay, but listen, the story was told well. So what? Chadwick Boseman, okay, he's darker complected. Thurgood Marshall was light skinned. You know what I mean? Zoe Saldana had to get blackface for Nina Simone.
She did.
You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is, these people are our heroes, and their story was still upheld. So we gonna complain about the story that never been told before, that's finally told, and we get to know, and another generation is exposed to this individual.
Okay, let me ask you this then. All right, since we talking about color, all right, we had two different actors, both light skinned, played the same role. All right, who did the better job? All right, and Ali. Okay, Will Smith played Ali in the movie, but also there was another movie about Ali that
was it Anthony, right?
No, from this on Empire.
I don't know.
The lead,
I know you're
talking about. The lead actor in Empire.
Not Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Howard. He played a movie of Ali also. He did
it was
for television.
It was for television version.
To me, you had two light-skinned brothers now playing Ali.
At that point, it boils down to who can act better.
Right, and my idea,
and who was more convincing?
Will Smith.
I like
did an outstanding job.
I like Will.
Right, so that takes away color right there. You have both people that was light-skinned playing a light-skinned brother.
I think it probably also has a lot to do with who put the story
Right, who
together.
produced
And that's
it,
what you just
what's
said that
behind
I
it.
never thought about when you said some black people put this story together and you didn't like it. Maybe they were from somewhere maybe they were from somewhere that was surprised that he even took the role.
Whatever.
Maybe they put the offer out to
Wait,
4 or
wait,
5
let's
different
bring it in,
big
let's bring it in.
actors.
Bring it in.
Very
And the
quickly.
fact that he took the role, they went with him.
Right, they went
the
with him
story,
for the
they
star
wanted
power.
the story to be told. Maybe they had
went
4
with him
or
for the
5
star
different.
power.
Exactly.
And it was told he did
And
a
it
good
came
job.
together.
Now I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit on y'all, right? I'm gonna call bullshit, and this is how. Denzel Washington played Malcolm X. Did nobody complain about his skin complexion? And
That's true.
Malcolm X was light skinned, and Denzel Washington is not. And he played the hell out of that role.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
That's Denzel.
So that's all I'm saying. So if you can complain about some, and I'm saying nobody else was bold enough to tell that story. And Spike Lee did it, and nobody complained about it, and nobody else was bold enough to tell Thurgood Marshall's story. His story is told.
That's
Who
true.
cares about what skin complexion he looked like on the screen? Who cares about that? The story was told. So that's my point. You know, y'all can.
Well, maybe
think
it
whatever
was
you wanna think.
the bad story.
And another thing, how many Michael Jackson movies has been out and nobody Michael Jackson?
Denzel embodied
I just
Malcolm
named
X.
about 4 or 5 people
So
that's
go ahead,
not
Sean.
Michael Jackson color.
Go ahead, Sean.
Okay.
I just want to lighten up the conversation.
Is Joy's mic off?
I'm just saying, and they had about 3 made-for-TV movies.
Just let it
None of them
go.
was
Just
light
fade it
skinned.
out slowly. Just,
One was white.
she not even here anymore. Okay, now if everybody out there can open their eyes and become conscious, Joy has left the room. But I understand what both of you are saying, and I actually appreciate you for bringing this to the light. And some people will view the movie differently based on just that, because honestly, it is a distraction if you know and follow Thurgood Marshall. And I don't think it was a distraction with the story of Malcolm X because of the fact that that actor did carry that role over so well. Not saying that he didn't carry this role over as well, but I think in his case, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. You'll tell me about it after we go to commercial. But I think that in his case, his skin color played a significant role in his success. So to sideline,
that
are you
away.
chewing into the mic?
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yes. Is that annihilator?
I need you starting to take that away.
Right. But I think that it was important. I think that was a staple as to who he was. So in this instance, by not honoring his skin tone in this instance, that's just like doing the movie The Imitation of Life over and putting a dark-skinned girl as the half. You know, you can't do that because it was the skin color that made such a prevalent difference in that person's life.
Right.
And you can't say that he didn't get preferential judgment or preferential treatment based on how he looked in the room compared to everybody else. He wasn't the person that stood out because his skin color was just like everybody else. His hair was just like everybody else. So even though there was a black man in the room, they were comfortable enough to talk about what they wanted to.
No, I don't
Just
think
like,
that's
honestly
true.
speaking,
I don't think
if
that's
they
true.
did the story of Barack Obama and let Idris play his role, I don't care how good. Right. Because skin color plays a role. And I'm just saying, it just makes a difference.
It plays a role because we know that
We're happy that they did this story. We're happy that they finally went back and reflected and applauded this struggle in one man's life that led to so many being successful. But there are certain things that you cannot sideline, and skin color in this instance.
With all them
is
people
one.
playing Mandela. Get out of here.
Right. So we're going to wrap this part of the session up. And when we come back, we're going to close out by asking our guest a few more questions around getting on stage and whether or not skin color matters. But anyway.
And this was your girl, Autumn Monroe.
And yeah, let's do that.
Leaves of knowledge falling down on you. And you can reach me on my social media at Miss Autumn Monroe, and that's MISSAUTUMNMONROE on Facebook and Instagram, and Autumn Monroe on Twitter, AUTUMNMONROE, and on Snapchat, The Autumn Monroe. Woohoo!
Holla at your girl.
AUTUMNMONROE. Holla at your girl.
And right now, this is Novel, a local artist who came from Fayetteville, North Carolina when I was writing my first magazine. You're listening to Novel and his compilation with Chrisette Michelle. This is called Wonderful. Stay woke.
I can call you beautiful, doesn't mean it justifies the view. No, goosebumps all over my skin. Oh, for your love, baby, I'll start all over again. I'd work 2 jobs just to make you proud of me. No, 'cause having your assurance, shorty, there's nothing more valuable to me. You're my little piece of wonderful, wonderful. My little piece of wonderful, wonderful. You're my girl, wonderful. Yeah, yeah, wonderful. Said wonderful, wonderful.
Tickle me and laugh so deep down to my soul. How you be amazing is just so easy to know. Make me see why I was created. That's what you do. Now I feel validated. I live for you, baby, babe. I see my eyes when I look at you, baby, babe. I'm living my dreams by loving you. Kissable, touchable, gentle and humble and wonderful in every way. Beautiful, rainbow of colors in every shade. You're wonderful, my little piece of wonderful. You're so wonderful, a little piece of wonderful. You're so wonderful.
Looking into your eyes. There's something I created right here. Something so lovely, so lovely, so lovely. Greatest gift on earth. I thank God, I thank God, I thank God. You're my life. All I can think of is you. And all I can do is dream of you. Of how love is true, love is true.
Ooh, you're wonderful.
You're beautiful, rainbow in every shade. You're my piece of wonderful, piece of wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, you're mine. Wonderful, my little piece of wonderful, 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 wonderful. It's universal connection out there to the world. It's all love. Love brings love. Across the world. It's sugar drinking. My daughter, my son.
Thank you, everybody. We are back with Uncle Sean and the Conscious Party. I just wanted to let you know that was from Novel Stevenson and Chrisette Michelle. That was called Wonderful. So if you know of Novel, let him know we're playing his music for the 2nd or 3rd week on the show now. And his mom, Melanie Burke, is out there singing as well. She sang at my anniversary for my magazine. Floored the people. The woman is awesome. Melody. Oh, wait a minute. Melanie. Yeah, okay. And she's the daughter of Solomon Burke. So the entire Burke family is just great musicians, and Ephraim Burke is out there singing as well. So it's just a lot of people out there singing, and we want to applaud them for for their talent and what they bring to the stage. Now, speaking of bringing things to the stage, again, we are joined tonight by Bernard McCoy. That's McKoy, and our own Dap Paxton. And there are two actors in a phenomenal new miniseries on Amazon Prime called Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, and it's where you take a quick comedic look at 6 dates that a young single man in Atlanta takes while trying to determine who's gonna be his new boo. So even though the boo has picked herself out, and we're looking forward to the second season where we get to see our favorite actress, Misty Paxton. I saw you out there. Come to the screen and show herself off. I didn't know she was an actress, but that made me laugh so hard. And I'm serious. The two of y'all couldn't even hide it on screen, trying to play like you didn't like each other. I'm like, everybody know that's your wife. Everybody know that's your wife.
You know, the funny thing is that's how we met. We met
acting.
Yeah,
beautiful.
So she's a dope actress. You know, she really, really is.
She had me crying.
I believe she's a stalker.
Yeah, she played that a little too well.
Okay.
You know, we role playing.
Y'all role playing now.
Yeah, she played a stalker. I played a victim.
Oh, see, you left the window open
Again.
I'm done. But Dap, since you have the mic, go ahead and let us know a little bit more about the series and how they can get it and what they can get it on, and let them know it's free. And
So
all that good
man,
stuff.
Amazon.com, and it's on there for a limited time. So after it's pulled down from Amazon Prime, then it's gonna be set up a little bit different.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be free, and then it's gonna be like released. Like one episode at a time is going to be released.
Okay.
So you better get it in now.
Is that going to be on Amazon still?
I don't know yet. I don't know. So, but when I do find out, you guys will be the first to know.
So,
Well, I'm Prime, so.
I was about to say, I got Amazon Prime. How you
I got
do that?
Prime.
You just search
watch
for
it.
Dexter
Yeah.
Jackson. So if you have Amazon, you don't even have to be an Amazon Prime member. But you can go to Amazon.com and just do a search for Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating, and it'll pop up right there.
there.
And
What
then
if
you can
got
watch.
the
It'll pop up right there.
I don't know anything about
Same
that.
You
thing.
can.
Same thing.
Just put in the search.
Just do a search.
Put
and
a
it'll
search.
pull
But
it
you
up.
have to put Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating. There's don't put, because
Right.
Dexter comes up if you just put Dexter.
All type of Dexters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that TV
you
show
want Dexter
But
Jackson,
you want Dexter
shout it.
Jackson's Guide
You
to
want that
Dating.
real deal. You know what I'm talking about?
That's
So
right.
Bernard
Just type in
is
Dexter Jackson. That
yeah.
comes up
That's
too.
all I got. That's
Yeah.
all I typed in.
Yeah.
And just
Dexter
as long as
Jackson.
you're on the Amazon.com website.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you can watch it. So you can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your TV.
your
You can
phone.
watch it on your
TV,
phone.
On the
Yeah.
Kindle, on your
And make sure,
tablet.
make sure too that you put a review down there and
Yeah,
that you
that's
rate
what
it.
I'm
I'm gonna have to put a
So right
review on
now,
the thing.
last time I checked, we have 5 stars, and it's being watched like worldwide, which is really dope. But yeah, so Dexter Jackson's Guide to Dating is about this newly divorced guy, Dexter, who is now in the dating scene, and he is having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That
is.
And Bernard over here, who's also in the studio with us, you've been hearing him all night. He plays my father, Mr. Jackson. You know, if you're nasty.
Yeah, right. Got to be.
Yeah, man, which is pretty funny.
So, have they started talking about a season 2?
Yes, they have.
Yes, already start talking about season 2.
Good.
It should be sometime next year, but I don't want to say exactly when because I'm not sure myself. But I know it's coming though. Okay, trust me, it's coming.
So
season
get
2.
ready. Bobby and Renee, I want to be a girlfriend. Just put that out there in the universe.
See how you do. You got to speak it into existence.
Right.
But everybody, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on Uncle Sean and the Conscious Party.
Yeah.
Our guest tonight, Bernard McCoy, McKoy, and try to follow him on all the social medias. You have the beautiful Miss Autumn Monroe. Just Google MISSAUTUMNMONROE. Holla at your girl. She's on social media as well. You got Dap's World on Instagram. And just JOILEAH, just Joy Leah. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter. You know I'm old.
Ain't got it yet.
You know that
Twitter been out.
and on my Instabook, you can look up Sean C. Robinson, SEANCROBINSON.
Book of Insta.
But if you want to follow all of us at the same time and just join the antics, just come to Conscious Party on Instagram. But until next week, we're going to ask everybody to do us a favor.
Stay woke.